It was a hard workout, Itachi-senpai. I almost managed to catch you off guard. Yes, Naruto-kun. You're making progress. A little more, and you will fight at the level of Chunin. Rank doesn't decide, senpai. That's why I train with you, and with other ninjas, and don't go to the Shinobi Academy. Shursui is coming soon, and we have to go on a mission. Do you have teachers besides us that you can practice with? Of course, sensei. With you, I learn to control the element of fire, learn genjutsu and conduct training battles. But besides that, I am learning uzumaki techniques with my mother, with Jiraiya herself a good command of Toad Taijutsu and some of my father's techniques, and Kakashi and Asuma teach me the techniques of the elements of earth, wind, lightning and water. Yes, I almost forgot. For a month now, Mato Guy has been subjecting me to physically heavy exercises, and he keeps feeding me with promises to teach me the technique of the heavenly gates. Very good. You are trained by strong people. And the technique of the 8 gates gives a great advantage over the enemy at all. With your vitality and nine-tail regeneration, you can use the gate technique more often and more powerfully than Guy himself. Another couple of years of such hard training, and you will become stronger even Hokage, but it's still not enough. You're talking a lot with your tongue today. So I'm still going to ask you as a friend, not as a student. Why do you need such power, Naruto-kun? What are you so eager for? 16 years ago, the nine-tailed attacked Konoha. No one knows why the mother's seal has weakened. But my father told my mother about it before he died. The nine-tailed one was controlled by a masked man, whom his father called Madara Uchiha. Since the beast was pulled out of mom, she would have died if dad hadn't sealed her back into her. But my mother's chakra was weakened. That's why my father divided the fox's chakra, placing a small part in me. But it's impossible. Madara lived during the time of the first Hokage. Naruto interrupts, Itachi-senpai, except for your father and Madara, no one could control the beast. In addition, according to Kakashi-senpai, my father was never wrong when he threw such words around. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will find the masked man, whoever he is, and avenge the death of my father, and the loss of the leaf in this attack. I promised my mother. How much pain, how much suffering has been passed over these 2 years. Every day, exhausting workouts, physical, logical and mental exercises that did not allow the body to master the slack for at least a minute. But only 2 years, with this result. Naruto Uzumaki, the youngest Jinchuriki of the village of List, once a kind boy with a wide smile, has become a deadly killer who perfectly owns the kenjutsu of the Land of Iron, the technique of summoning toads, the hermit mode, 8 gates, all 5 elements and many forbidden techniques, including his clan. And he also learned the techniques of the once great shinobi, the 4th Hokage. Kurama. And how to remove this seal, and why did you need this, my friend? Well, I thought that you, as my partner, without the seal, could give me much more chakra and power, which would help me in the fight against Madara. It's quite possible, Naruto. But I don't know anything about this seal. You are Uzumaki, and you should know about seals better than me. And as for the masked man, we never had a chance to talk about it, but Madara put genjutsu on me to use in a fight against the first Hokage. I will always remember this chakra, and I will tell you, my friend, the masked man who killed your father is certainly not Madara. His chakra is much weaker, and he didn't even have a second eye. But one thing I can say for sure, it was a man from the Uchiha clan. So that's it. I thought that by studying the history of Madara, I could defeat him in battle. And it turns out to be a fake. We need to ask Itachi about the one-eyed Uchiha, maybe his father knows something. It's been 2 hours since evening. At sunset, the rain froze. The mother was worried about her already grown-up son. She was sure the boy would not be lost. But Jiraiya is not in the village, there is no one to look after Naruto and the fox. The third Hokage offered to assign an elite ninja from ANBU, who owns the element of wood, to the little fox. But the mother refused, because she knew about the relationship between the beast and her son. But Kushina's heart told her that today was a bad day. However, a knock on the door interrupted her thoughts. "I'm already coming!" Shouting, the Scarlet Beast went to open the door to her son. "Naruto, go home quickly. Something is wrong with the chakra of my other half." Kushina was attacked. Without answering a word to a friend, Naruto instantly entered the hermit mode, and ran at great speed to the outskirts of the village, to the house of the Uzumaki clan. The door was knocked out, and the corpse of an elite fighter from the Uchiha clan was lying next to it. Naruto, without thinking about anything, walked quickly into his house. "I'll tear you to pieces, do you hear? I'll bite off all your heads, Lana pieces." The elite Uchiha squad led by Uchiha Fugaku dissolved into smoke as soon as he saw the yellow-haired son of the first Jinchurika of the village. "Mom, do you hear me? Mom, heal the wounds with the regeneration of the beast." The blonde man without hesitation began to transfer his vital chakra to his mother. "All the chakra I could." A childhood friend helped him with all his might, passing him through the seal all the chakra that is possible. "Son. Coughs, it's too late, don't waste your chakra, come closer. Hack no Fuin Shiki." The woman with the strange nickname, Tomato, croaked, and began to direct the seals in the direction of her son. The equipment was quite powerful, the wooden beams and the fence next to the house began to break, and the chakra transmitted to the son was simply huge. "Naruto, here is my last gift to you as your mother." Gasps, "Use the full kurama. Biju won't do me any good anymore, I'll just start dying more slowly." Coughs, "Print, take it off with a key, it's at the Toads, where you trained in the art of the sage. Tell everything to Hokage, tell him about Fugaku. Find Jiraiya and destroy the masked man. Avenge my and dad's death, son." The technique ended, and burning red pepper, once the legendary kunoichi of the Uzumaki clan, closed her eyes and stopped breathing. "I promise, Mom." Two geniuses of the Uchiha clan, returning from the task, handed over a report to the professor about the completed task. Everything went as well as possible. The once magnifying god shinobi poured tobacco into his pipe and began to take a drag. "Good job. I didn't expect anything else from you, you proudly carry the banner of your clan. Well done. The clan has nothing to do with it, the third one is herself. We serve the village. The village is everything, the clan has too much pride, and after all, you already know that my father Fugaku wants to rebel and take the title of the fifth Hokage." The door suddenly opened and brought both sides of the dialogue out of their thoughts. "I will destroy you all, worthless Uchiha. Do you hear me? Itachi." A red-eyed blonde man with long claws shouted. Hiruzen was silent. He wanted to realize everything that was happening. Naruto has 4 times more chakra, he takes a small amount of it, which means he controls the beast. But still he's angry. "Naruto-kun, calm down. This is an order." Suddenly, the blonde's eyes suddenly turned blue, and the chakra subsided, although it remained still huge. "Explain to the three of us, what happened. Why are you angry? And what are the Uchiha to blame in front of you, Itachi-senpai? Where is your father now, Fugaku?" "I do not know," he replied to the blonde man with an honest face. "I just got back from a mission, I have no idea where he might be. Third Sama, I witnessed how Fugaku Uchiha and members of the elite Uchiha squad killed my mother. Mother told me to tell you all about it. They must pay for everything they have done, and revenge must be accomplished by my hands." The blonde man shouted angrily at the whole office, so that the two Uchiha could not believe everything they heard. "I was afraid that this would happen sooner or later. Itachi, Shursui, What would you advise me to do in such a situation? My Koto Amatsukami is still not charged, and the conflict has reached the point of no return. I would do my best to avoid a collision myself, but I'm afraid that the execution of Fugaku Uchiha is inevitable. If there are difficulties, then the whole clan. The third itself. I'm ready to become an outcast, even to be killed after. But give the order to destroy the Uchiha clan. I promise I'll make these worms pay. The first Jinchuriki is a powerful kunoichi. No one will believe if I say that she was killed by just ordinary shinobi. Besides, we can't blame other villages for this, as long as we keep at least some peace with them. Hiruzen's thoughts were looking for any loopholes to cling to the peaceful resolution of the conflict. However, no ideas came to mind. The third one herself. If we have to cut out at least our own clan, then we will fulfill your order. After all, it is necessary for the village. The young Uchiha chattered quickly and nervously, with a smile on their face and tears in their eyes. Start at midnight. Naruto frowned. His anger could burn through everything in the world. She was stronger than one of Itachi's strongest fire techniques. Screams, Hokage-sama. These freaks killed my mother. If you think that you will let them do all the work, and then they will just feel sorry for me, and justify me in the absence of guilt, then you are mistaken. I'll kill it myself. It's a bunch of red-eyed idiots. Naruto's scream was heard throughout the hall. However, it did not give confidence. The young blonde man quickly went out into the street with tears in his eyes, and still could not believe the biggest loss in his worthless life. Itachi. Keep an eye on your student. Don't let him do anything stupid. I can't promise anything, Hokage-sama. After completing the task, get out of the village. I'll leave a passage for the three of you. And I won't pursue, I promise. You are very generous, Hokage-sama, thank you. Don't spread too much that Naruto is with you. I will have to carefully hide the fact that Jinchuriki left the village with the Uchiha. Oh, and I don't like all this. Kurama, what should we do next? I've lost all sense. I need an outside opinion. Naruto, Kakashi taught you the history of shinobi. Do you know about the Sage of the Six Ways? Yes, I know that he is considered a shinobi god, and he also created the chakra. The Sage of the Six Ways, aka Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the creator and father of all tailed Biju. When he was already old and ready to go to another world, he told a prophecy about a blue-eyed blonde who would be able to learn the names of all tailed animals, understand their pain, and make friends with them. I believe that it is you, the child of prophecy. You'll see, time will pass, and you will also be called Kono yo no Kyusayu, as has Hiram Senju and my father were called at one time. I suggest you follow your destiny, wander through the villages, and find the tailed ones. It's amazing. How old are you then, since your creator is Rikudo Sennin himself? More than 2 millennia, my young friend. A lot has become clear. Now I know where to go next, but before that, we need to open our seal on Toad Mountain, and look somewhere else. Kurama, yes, Naruto, tell me what he was like, your father. He was incredibly wise, aspired to peace and order. He founded the Ninshu faith, which assumed the peaceful spread of the chakra to people, with a deep knowledge of himself. It served to unite people. As for his strength, it was huge. He possessed incredible Dojutsu, Rinnegan, God's eyes. He owned all the elements, genomes, could fly, control gravity, and was the Jinchuriki of the Ten-Tailed, from whose chakra he created us, 9 animals. I see, you're not very talkative. No wonder, after such a loss. Itachi and Shursui are waiting for us. They were supposed to return from reconnaissance. Thanks for the story, my friend. What happened, Itachi-senpai? Where did all these injuries come from? We were caught by surprise. Breathing nervously, Shursui was captured. I was wearing an ANBU mask, but I'm afraid it won't give much of an advantage. Things are bad. What do you say, Kurama? you can absorb my chakra into your muscles, thereby hiding yours from the Uchiha, even if they see you with a Sharingan. But there may be problems with your teacher. This is not necessary. Itachi is here among his own, and can get in with impunity. But it will be a little difficult in battle. I hope you'll help me. The fox was silent, although the blonde was sure that his friend would not let his carrier down. After all, the lives of both depend on it. The settlement of the clan did not differ in particular diversity. Houses of the same type, shops, a public bath, a police building, and the largest building is the house of the head. According to Itachi's assumptions, Shursui was kept in the Uchiha police building. The slaughter has begun. The first victims of the teacher and his young student were military police officers. Tekka, Yakumi, Yashiro and Izumi. While Itachi was dealing with the strongest of them, Yakumi, the blonde man in the big mask, was enjoying dancing with three people unknown to him. He moved with great speed, leaving traces of the red chakra behind him, and the Sharingan seemed to him only an old-fashioned toy that could not keep track of his speed. He was right. At first, Uzumaki began to leave light cuts from his katana forged in the land of iron. After that, he began to knock down his haters, who apparently were also involved in the death of her mother. The red-eyed geeks with their wakizashi couldn't do anything to the little fox. Legs, arms, stomach, neck. The blonde's cuts were deep enough, but not deadly. Apparently on purpose. Finally, called at that time by the Uchiha, Barati began to start cutting off limbs. To the only one with Tanto, the demon tore off his hands that he already tried to attack him holding a Japanese knife with his mouth, but soon died from lack of blood. He tore off another man's leg and ripped open his stomach. The third probably died morally and mentally more than physically. The cruel Ikazo Kugurasuke strangled him with the guts of his partner, who had previously ripped open his entire belly. Itachi, at that time, without straining too much, used the Mangekyo Sharingan Genjutsu on the opponent, which cannot be dispelled with an ordinary Sharingan. Then he finished off that one. And watched the battle with an obvious outcome. He admired that his student had become so strong, but at the same time worried about the coolness of his, actually younger brother. According to the dark-haired man, these were the strongest opponents after the clan leader, his father, and the only owner of the Mangekai Sharingan, except for himself and Shursui. According to this, the young blonde and dark-haired genius were sure that after the murder of the officers, it would be easier with the massacre. How wrong they were. Naruto, do you want to talk about what happened? No, let's move on, teacher. Where are we going? You still haven't said. The clan was exterminated, but Shursui died. We couldn't save him. We are too weak, teacher, as much as I would not like to admit it. Even you. We need strength, and we're going after it. I see. But where, Naruto? To the village of Sound, to the lair of the snake Sannin. To Orochimaru. But, why? Orochimaru is an S-rank nuke nin who can easily fool us and kill us. We have no reason to trust him. Listen to me, Naruto. He's dangerous. We have no other choice, teacher. Ninetales told me about the prophecy, and I decided that I should follow my fate. When I was training with Kakashi, there was always a man with him codenamed Yamato. Sensei told me that as a child, Orochimaru himself experimented on him, putting the genes of Hashirama Senju into him. As a result, he began to possess the element of wood. Not at the same level, of course, as the Hokage himself, but at enough to control the Jinchuriki. I need this power, and I do not know who will help me, except for a snake who knows all the secrets of techniques. Okay. I still won't let you offend, even if it's Sannin, even if it's Kage. Thank you, Itachi-senpai. And about your strength. You told me about the Uchiha monument, and the inscriptions on the tablet. Yes, I know that it will have to be done sooner or later. It's good that we took the power of the Uchiha, and the bandits of Konoha will not get such power. Especially Danzo. Hurry up senpai, there's not much left, the genius of the Uchiha clan, and the equally brilliant son of the fourth Hokage, Yellow Lightning Konoha. A teacher and a student who slaughtered the clan behind the whole coup in one of the richest hidden villages. How can I help you, gentlemen? Warm shelter, food, or cover from my mentor, smiles ominously, Snake Genius, one of the most dangerous criminals in the shinobi world. We really came to you for help. However, do not let this fact particularly please you. If you try to do something wrong, as we ask, you will immediately say hello to Shinigami. I see you know techniques that even I don't know. Impressive. Besides, otherwise, you will not get paid for your labors, which you have been hunting for many years. You know where to push, Itachi-kun. I agree. What are you interested in? Naruto frowned, thought a little, he consulted with his red-haired friend, and taking a deep breath, put forward his "we need strength. More power. I want you to transplant the cells of the first Hokage to me, as you once did with a man named Yamato." Orochimaru was silent, he was thinking about different things. For example, do they know about Danzo, about his cells, and his hand? He tried to think very carefully about all his actions, because this teenager could have killed him without much effort, and he knew it. But Red-Eyed decided to break the silence and interrupt the snake's answer, and also, I need you to transplant my father's eyes to me. According to the Uchiha tablet, this is the only way to strengthen your eyes and gain Choku Tomo. He's the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Orochimaru was surprised by what he heard. All his years spent in Akatsuki and studying the eyes of God were not in vain, in his opinion. However, Sharingan seemed to be a more interesting toy to the cunning snake. Sunnin barely had the strength to keep his mouth closed and not show his predatory drool. In other things, the great white snake decided to sweeten the evening to his vessel, and start with a small aperitif. Kabuto, take Mr. Itachi to the restroom, accept him as a guest of the Kage level. In the meantime, we'll talk to Naruto, said the black-haired man with golden eyes, heading to his laboratory. A month has passed since a native of the Uchiha clan and his disciple lived in the shelter of the white snake. The blond man understood that it was dangerous to stay here for a long time, and the snake itself was cunning, and could plot anything. However, these couple of weeks have been beneficial. Uchiha learned to control the heavenly glow and Susanoo, even better than his father trained him. The red-eyed one could develop his Susanoo to the maximum size without having the eyes of a god. Choku Tomo's eyes benefited the dark-haired genius. Now Uchiha began to see better in the dark. The operation went as well as possible. And not only his operation, the blonde's chakra has become even denser, wider and stronger. In addition to the regeneration of the nine-tailed chakra, the chakra of the Asura descendant with the tree style gave the blonde an even stronger regeneration, and like other people under the influence of the tree chakra, he stopped needing food and feeling thirsty. Also on the chest of the little fox appeared the face of the first Hokage, as well as other shinobi with transplanted cells. With the help of a mini statue on his chest, the young Uzumaki could passively absorb the hermit's chakra. The son of the Yellow Flash managed to learn the techniques of the great god shinobi in a couple of weeks, which he wrote in the scroll of Konoha's techniques. Fortunately, Orochimaru managed to copy the scroll before Danzo gave the scroll to a man named Tenzo. The blonde could use the strongest techniques of the first, such as Chuju Kabutsu, Miyajinman and Shin Susenju, without particularly affecting a large number of chakras. The result was very surprising to the snake teacher. He could not get enough of his next guinea pig. Sannin also decided to teach his favorite experiment, a couple of techniques that would be useful to Naruto. However, of the techniques offered to him, Uzumaki was only interested in the Rashomon Gate. The blonde knew that sooner or later, he would have to fight against the tailed ones if he failed to make friends with them, and came to the conclusion that Makoto would not be enough. He needed good protection. The snake's interest was increasing every day. But the blonde did not want to stay in the same cage with the snake for too long. The sacred mountain of toads was waiting for him, where he once studied the art of a hermit with a more pleasant Sannin, a mountain of confusion. The land of toads is a rich and beautiful land that is in the perfect authority of the great toad sage. It was said that it has existed since time immemorial, and influential toads say that only 2 to 3 people who visited this mountain are known. However, Kurama told his carrier interesting stories, as the sage of the sixth paths himself visited the perfect tree mountain to study the senjutsu chakra, said that to defeat his mother, who came with space. The blonde of course believed his friend, but did not even know what to think about it. The weather here was almost always hot and sunny. The toads were bored without rain, sitting on the warm leaves of long trees waiting for their summons, or tasks from the great elders. Long time no see, Naruto-kun. And you've grown up, and you have more chakras than I've ever seen anyone have. Did you eat the great toad? Laughs, be healthy, Gamabunta. Yes, we haven't seen each other for a long time. I came to you on business. Can I go to Ujiji-sama? I have no doubt that the matter is important. Not you, not Jiraiya, do not come here just like that, and even more so for ordinary matters. Let's go. The great toad sage, Naruto Uzumaki, the son of Minato, and the disciple of the great Jiraiya, has arrived. He comes to you with an important question. Please listen. Yes, Gamabunta. Thank you, you can be free. And I will talk to Naruto personally. Did you know I was coming? How else? My prophecies never lie. Let's get right to the point. Geratora is already here, and can hand you the key to the seal of the 8 trigrams. But first, are you sure you can control the 9-tailed fox demon? Do you have enough strength? I see that you have more than enough chakras and strength, but do you have enough fortitude, Uzumaki? There's no need for that. Great venerable old man Kurama is my friend and partner. He's my family, and I won't control him. Kurama means, that's the name of Hagoromo's creation. Well, Uzumaki, I believe you, and I am sure that you are the very disciple of Jiraiya-chan with the power to save or destroy the world. Do not lead him, and do not lead faith in your father. Geratora, the key, there is no seal anymore. The red-eyed ginger pours his vitality, chakra and power into all the channels of the blonde's chakra. The chakra oozes from the young Uzumaki, and only the great shinobi gods would be able to resist such a beast. Thank you, friend. Thank you for removing the age-old shackles from me, and instilling in me the belief that I am not only a weapon for people, but something more. Don't thank me, Kurama. We need to think about where to move next. I don't have any ideas at all. Leave the mountain, and track down large clumps of chakra and arrogance. You won't lose. Now, with the help of my chakra, you can do it easily, and the hermit's chakra will not disappoint. Then you and your itachi will move and track down such. If it's Jinchuriki, then there will be problems. We will have to fight. Let's hope for the best. Said and done. Thank you, Kurama. Let's move. Naruto, I have to tell you something. What happened? Itachi-senpai, we are almost in the village of Hidden Sand, where according to your words there should be a tanuki monster, and you should know. If something goes wrong, I can take the tailed beast under the genjutsu, but not the Jinchuriki himself, since Biju can pour his chakra into the channels of his keeper, and free him from my Sharingan. I hope it doesn't come to that. Sunagakure lies in a fortified gorge behind rocky cliffs with a corridor both inside and out of the village, bounded by a cleft between 2 steep slopes. Constant sandstorms and lack of water, fine. Before the village of Sand and Sound, the young Uzumaki visited only the ruins of his native village of Whirlpool, where he studied the secret techniques of Uzumaki, and in the Land of Iron, where he studied Kenjutsu and received his katana, which he named for himself, decided to call Abusoba. Teacher, I took a walk around the market, asked the residents and itinerant merchants imperceptibly, and found out very interesting information. Well? Don't pull it. Naruto, the one-tailed Shikaku, aka the embodiment of sand, is sealed in the 5th Kazekage, the golden child, who is called Gaara of the sandy waterfall. Unwilling to follow the path of Orochimaru, and becomes a nuke for killing Kaguya. Have you decided what you're going to do, Naruto? I don't know, teacher. Even Uzumaki has no techniques that would allow pulling a tailed beast out of a person without the death of its carrier. Anyway, it's getting late. It is better to sleep in the tavern, and tomorrow already go to ask for a meeting with Kaguya. I think I can explain everything to him without a fight. As a last resort, Kurama can talk to Shikaku. Kurama is angry and refuses, or as it goes to, Mr. Kazekage, leave these freaks to us, and then we can talk in a more relaxed atmosphere. Deidara, I will attack, and you cover me from above, as always. As you say, Mr. Sasori. Finally, at least someone will appreciate my art. Do whatever you want, just don't kill that blonde. Judging by his powerful chakra, he is also a Jinchuriki. I don't promise anything. Sasori senpai, Gaijutsu wa Bakatsuda. The one who rose up, apparently attacks with long-range techniques, and the one with the tail, the puppeteer, is inside the doll himself. You can't tell from the look, but it's easily noticeable with Sharingan. Okay, senpai, I'll be careful as always. Deal with the fact that from above, he will only interfere with his attacks from the air. In his Kyukyoku Gaijutsu. Realizing that the battle was going down, the red-haired man wanted to transfer his core to another puppet, and retreat. But just this second was enough for the golden fox to pierce the only living place on the body of the great puppeteer with his abusaboy. Complete silence, and the pierced shinobi squeezes out only a single stingy tear, letting you know that not all of his body was artificial. Or maybe it was the element of water. I hope the village hasn't been badly damaged, Lord Kazekage. No, the village has not suffered any losses, although the village gates will need to be repaired. I am immensely grateful to you, strangers from Konohagure. You said you wanted to talk to me, now I have to listen to you. It's already been 10 minutes, and only the tailed beasts and 2 young heroes caught the conversation in the subconscious, created by the great sage of the 6 ways. The rest just watched 2 completely different teenagers meditating peacefully and amicably. The tanuki monster turned out to be more friendly than the wise fox told his host, whom he considered a second teacher, even though he knew that it was he who killed his father. The incarnation of sand agreed to share as much as 80% of his chakra with the child of the prophecy, and to save the rest so that the Honorable Mr. Kazekage would not die while remaining with his tailed beast. Are you ready to move out, Itachi-sensei? Next stop, Kumogakure. The road to the land of lightning would take a long time, because it is located at a great distance from the village of sand, so the wise 4, as they called themselves, decided to go through the land of the earth, where there were rumored to be as many as 2-tailed animals, as well as on the way to go to the village of the hidden waterfall country, where Naruto felt another tailed beast. Only here they were not at all waiting for a warm welcome. Iwagakure, once a great country with the faith of stone, was half destroyed, and the shinobi who remained during their lifetime, waged a fierce struggle with the Akatsuki team, which according to some data was called the Immortal combo. More enemies? Be ready. They're getting close. We are not enemies, but just travelers who eliminate Akatsuki, and have an important task related to tailed beasts. I see. Our enemy is immortal, and both of them can perfectly combine their attacks without fear of harming each other. My name is Rushi, I am the Jinchuriki of the 4-tailed. The man who is patched up by doctors, Khan, Jinchuriki of the 5-tailed. Mr. Jashin is not interested in names, not in chakra volumes, any sacrifice will suit him. Who's next? Don't start again, Haydn. Our goal is to get the tailed ones, along the way, unless we can grab important shinobi, it's not bad so it will add money to our organization. And if you do your damn rituals again, I'll tear you to pieces. Try it. We both know that's impossible. As soon as the conversation dragged on, the blue-eyed man already managed to pierce Kakuzu's heart, stepping aside using the Hiraition technique. But it didn't do anything, and the young Uzumaki only became convinced of the fact of the immortality of this scoundrel, who, according to rumors, fought and lived during the time of the first Hokage. Naruto, the one you pierced through the heart actually has as many as 5 hearts. This is clearly seen with Sharingan. Most likely, you will have to destroy all the hearts to kill him. As for the second one, I don't see any flaws in it, and I don't know what its secret is. Could he really be immortal? Or most likely it is the action of some kind of technique. He mentioned some rituals and belief in Jaya Shinkyo. Most likely, his special technique is related to the relic. Thanks for the quick analysis, teacher. I'm going to try to deal with a guy with hearts, and you keep that jerk at a distance with the help of Anton. It sounds like a plan, but there is a more interesting idea. Let the stone shinobi distract the one with green pupils, and you lure the jerk to me. The next round has begun. The battle was long. The Immortal kept jumping to different places, because he understood that he could not keep up with the golden-haired man's fast speed. But Naruto knew he had to hurry, otherwise too many shinobi would die under the barrage of techniques of the second centenarian. Finally he opened up, probably exhausted. In the fight with the weapon, the blue-eyed man won a clear victory, because the speed of his katana was very fast, and Haiden did not even have time to block his blows. However, he didn't need it. But the immortal idiot was so carried away by the battle that he forgot to keep an eye on other opponents. And this moment was enough for a brilliant teacher, and a native of the Uchiha clan, to put an end to a long duel. Sakagari's long sword, which he hid from his father Itachi all his life, on a par with the great Yada shield, in an instant, the gray-haired one was sealed, who went to the world of drunken dreams forever, without ever getting into the palace of his master, Jashin. As for the Nuke from the waterfall village, even the black flame of Uchiha did not take him, because he easily separated parts of his bodies with the help of threads. This was already getting serious, and Kurama began to accumulate Senjutsu chakra through the face of Hashirama. The centenarian immediately recognized this chakra, and prepared for the worst. In addition, the stone shinobi were able to destroy the second mask, and Kakuzu's heart. So he will have to do without water and wind now. By that time, the young fox cub had already accumulated a huge enough amount of chakra to try to destroy at least one more heart with one jerk. But the man with the dark skin was ready for such a huge speed, and covered himself with lightning so that no one could get closer to him. But that was his mistake. Uzumaki noticed the cover and protection at the same second, but it was too late to dodge, and he decided to eliminate the hearts even with wounds. The chestnut-haired man decided that since even the veil is not able to stop such a beast, then it is necessary to hedge, and released a huge amount of fire chakra, using the Zukaku technique. The orange hero entered the fire, counting on the Tanuki's sand shield and Kyubi regeneration, and from there pushed his shadow clone up, from where he threw Hiraition kunai at Kakuzu, and moving closer, hit Kakuzu with full force, using the earth element technique, stone fist, fueling her Senjutsu chakra. From the rupture of muscle tissues, 2 hearts were destroyed, but Kakuzu still lived with the last heart, and he intended to use the element of lightning in order to end Naruto at great speed. However, Naruto, with the help of the chakra of Sannin, and the 9-tailed one, was able to feel the moment, and asking Shikaku for a stronger wind chakra, used the strongest wind element technique, Amino Mahashira, against the lightning of the red-eyed one. And the once great centenarian, who could have outlived the head of the village of Iwagakure, and taken his heart for himself, while possessing the element of dust, died, leaving only a trace of the former glory of his village, and memories of battles with the god Shinobi, the first Hokage. Impressive, Blondie. Thank you for helping us. By the time old man Tsuchikage straightened his back and came to our aid, we would all have died here a long time ago. You said you had a mission related to the tailed beasts. Han and I are ready to listen to you, and the next waiting for the crowd of shinobi, and watching the meditation of 3 Jinchuriki, who moved into their subconscious and discussed the idea of the golden boy. So that's how it is. So you think this is really the child from the prophecy? Yajin, but Kurama, Shikaku, of course I believe you, but I will not entrust my life to some teenager. We and Kakuyu will check it before making a decision. And I want to warn you, Naruto Uzumaki, I have great physical strength, and my older brother has the fastest speed. And your tailed beast mode will not work here, alright, Son Goku. I'm ready. Or should I call you Osama? Laughs, idiot, be more vigilant, they can tear you to shreds. The fox shouted, worried about his host, disciple, and in some way even his son. The blond man stood and waited, apparently he wanted the tailed ones to shorten the distance themselves. And as soon as they got close enough, Naruto used one of the strongest techniques in his arsenal, which belonged to the element of water. A bursting wave of water, with which he was able to cut as much as Sun's thick bone crest, and Kakuyu's horn. Such a great water technique with penetrating power could only be used by Tobirama Senju himself. It was painful, you know, Naruto. But never mind, it will grow back soon. Dream, we use a joint fire technique. The blonde was not going to lose, because he was waiting for a great destiny. The amount of water in his body was minimal, and he had nothing to extinguish this amount of fire chakra, so Blue-Eyed decided to merge the fire techniques of his tailed ones. For such a huge and destructive technique, he had to pour a large amount of chakra into the channels, including the rest of the natural one. The great fiery incineration, which only people with a huge amount of chakra were able to perform, according to the type of Uchiha Madara himself, was perfectly able to absorb part of the fire that was caused by Biju. But after the fireballs, long-lasting Bijudum bombs followed, from which the blonde dodged with the help of the flying thunder god, but shells also flew to the teleportation site, and Uzumaki was forced to use an earthen wall. In size, it was larger than almost the tailed animals themselves. And it was from under the steam resulting from the collision of the wet earth and the balls of the tailed beast that Naruto jumped out, with the Raikiri technique, having previously tied the tailed ones with the help of Kakuan Nitten Swishku, and blocking the neighborhood with the help of the great impenetrable forest of the Mokutan style. A native of the Uzumaki clan almost pierced the eye of the Monkey King, but the five-tailed managed to push the young blonde man away with his horn, and with a cry of, enough, calm down all the combatants. You deserve to be called Konoyo, but Kusayu. I recognize your power, Naruto Uzumaki, we will give you most of our power, and you can also use our Kekii Genkai. Thank you for giving hope to all Biju, Naruto Uzumaki. Teacher. It seems we have a problem. What's wrong, Naruto? The seven-tailed Chomei, whose chakra I felt in the village of the waterfall, his chakra completely disappeared. I do not know where he is. That's weird. Anyway, it's not the time to think about this, since we can't track it, we should go faster to other tailed animals. As you say, Itachi-senpai. Moved, the journey to the land of lightning was a long one. The student, as well as his brilliant teacher, had to board a ship in order to get there quickly from the country of the rock, and not pass through his native Konoha, due to the problems that arose. Only here in the port of Kumogakure they were waiting for a check. Absolutely all ships were checked, and their vessel was no exception. Naruto Uzumaki, and Itachi Uchiha. Am I right? Absolutely. You are accused of murdering the Uchiha clan. And since Konohagakure and I have signed a cooperation agreement, you will be sent back to the land of fire, where the Hokage and Daimyo will figure out what to do with you. We have a mission in the Cloud Country related to the Tailed Ones. Hokage is aware of this. So our answer is no, although Naruto was very strong, and could match the strength of Kage himself, but he lacked charisma and experience in diplomacy. So the conversation was conducted mainly by Itachi. As you say. Come with us, you will be met by the Raikage himself. The road was long, but as soon as the retinue passed far enough from the village, Anbu ordered them to wait and not try to escape, believing the duo from the sheet that there was a barrier. Although the blonde could easily break the barrier, Itachi still convinced him to wait and not show active signs. After 15 minutes, a group of people appeared. Raikage Hei, with his stepbrother, who was Jinchuriki Gyuki. As well as Yujito ni, Kunoichi and also Jinchuriki Matatabi, an elite squad of Anbu, and the bodyguard Hei, whom it was clear from the conversation that his name was Darui. Itachi also noticed a storm element tattoo on Daruya's arm. Naruto, apparently a fight cannot be avoided. Probably there is a censor among the Anbu squad, so very slowly start accumulating the natural chakra. Nukanins from the leaf. I'll be brief. Either you tell me why you are here, or you will die a quick death. Raikage Dano, we have come with an important task related to the Tailed Ones. We definitely need to talk to them. Lies, Hokage didn't say anything about it. Give cover. Anbu, on support, Hei immediately tried to attack Naruto with his fastest punch. However, Naruto managed to evade. After the attack, Hei immediately came by, with the intention of quickly ending the young Uzumaki. However, Shikaku's sand shield blocked Bai's strike, leaving no chance for a full-fledged strike. Itachi, at that moment, foresaw Darui's storm technique, and applied Amaterasu on him, without giving a chance to destroy the blonde. The young Uzumaki managed to put a mark on Bai, and used the element of boiling, filling the entire barrier with powerful steam, not giving a chance to counterattack. Later, he strengthened the element of wood and earth with the lava genome transmitted by Son Goku, and connected two Jinchuriki with it. Moving to Bai, he put his hands on the shoulders of two Jinchuriki, telling Itachi to guard them in the guise of Susanoo, and not to let Anbu and Kage near them. Matatabi, Gyuki, hold your Jinchuriki. We need to talk. The conversation was about the past, about the Sage of the Six Paths, and about the child from the prophecy, so that the Jinchuriki around them could also catch the course of events. It was not long, given the situation, which did not last in the subconscious, but the time here flowed in a completely different way. That's how. I am surprised that you, imbued with the malice and hatred of foxes, were able to make friends with your host. Just this. We trust our Jinchuriki, and they need our chakra no less than you do, so we will give you only a part of our chakra, but this should be enough to use our power in battle, along with the creation of ink, with the gradual filling of forces. We do not intend to give you all our power, because our carriers are wonderful people, and do not deserve such a stupid death, for the sake of a higher goal. Gyuki, Matatabi, are you sure of your decision? This kid came out of nowhere, and probably tricked other Jinchuriki into giving up their powers. We can't trust them so easily. The young Jinchuriki in Kunoichi clouds reasoned with their beautiful voice like the singing of a bird. We are sure. Since the Nine-Tailed himself believed in this boy, then we are nobody to disobey the word of our elder brother, and the prophecy of our creator. Aniki, grab your hand quickly, I'll move us away from here with the Thunder God technique. Naruto didn't know exactly where to move, but time was running out, and Raikage with his screams and threats only forced the blonde to act faster. Anywhere, just not in the sheet, just not in the sheet. Naruto's thoughts, it's warm inside, and cold outside at the same time. Snow. A lot of snow. A noble land of iron, inhabited by samurai, where once a blonde man studied kenjutsu, and received his katana de Aniki? You haven't called me that yet, Naruto-kun. Sorry, there's nothing to apologize for. Well, you teleported us to an unpleasant place. Frost and snow. And from the land of iron to Kirigakure, we will have to swim long enough to circumnavigate the land of snow with a semicircle. It will probably take at least a month. I don't think we need to go there anymore, teacher. Why is that? On the ship, you said that 2 more Jinchuriki are in the land of water. That's where we need to go. While we were traveling and arriving in the land of lightning, the Jinchuriki changed their location. They are in Amigakure, and their chakra is gradually fading away. I think Hanzo grabbed them and is trying to do something with them. Their village is very hidden, and is carefully guarded. We have to get in there and figure it out. So we'll have to fight again. And what will we do? It will not work to bypass the waterfall village. We will have to go through Konoha. Since we are in a hurry, the tailed chakra has almost faded. Okay. We will try to pass the land of fire unnoticed. I don't want to meet familiar faces, powerful genjutsu of course. Make the guard tell all the information about the village. Looks like I still have a lot to learn from you, Itachi senpai. Don't worry Naruto, with your amount of chakra and mind, you can defeat virtually any current shinobi, even Kaguya ranked. There is too much praise for a man who has not achieved much in this life. Okay, let's not waste time. So the village of Rain is under the control of Akatsuki, and the leader lives in the highest point of the village. If I'm not mistaken, that's the tower over there. Let's move. As you say. The chakra of the tailed ones just comes from there. Including the 7-tailed one. It looks like they are really being kidnapped by Akatsuki. In front of the entrance to the tower stood a tall man with a large build. If there was a Jashin, whom Haiden mentioned, then according to the blonde's ideas, he would look exactly like this. When looking at him, it made one shiver, and there was so much chakra that he could easily fight with 2-tailed ones without tension. And I told the leader that waiting for you is the best idea. So you appeared yourself. I didn't have to follow you around all the countries, and track. Oh, how rude I am. Let me introduce myself. Kisame Hoshigaki, one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, the owner of the Samahata blade. If I'm not mistaken, then you are Jinchuriki, who keeps the power of the remaining 6-tailed beasts, Naruto Uzumaki. And you are his companion, the clan killer, Itachi Uchiha. Our fate is similar in many ways, Itachi. I can understand your action. Unfortunately, I cannot escort you to the leader until he has finished absorbing the tailed chakra to the end. Then we will break through by force, you understand? That's what I was hoping to hear. The battle will be glorious. Get ready, I'll tell you a secret, Kisame, even though you have the most terrifying blade of the 7 great swords of the mist, but my katana is no worse. It was made from a meteorite that fell in Hoshigakure, and at first, belonged to the first samurai general from the land of iron. I call this blade Abusaboy, which means devourer of souls. Naruto, I do not advise you to compete with him in Kenjutsu. This person, or whatever it was, learned to swing a sword until you could not even master the basics of using the chakra. In addition, he has very strong water techniques, which may even be stronger than the ones you taught in the 2nd Hokage scroll. I advise you to use strong fire techniques to vaporize water, as well as lightning to cripple the bastard with his own water technique. The earth will also be useful to absorb the water itself. The water immobilizes, and does not allow me to breathe normally. As soon as I use the technique, we will fight on equal terms. Doton, Yomi Numa, Sueton, Baxui Shkuha. Damn, this kid knows the S and a rank techniques of absolutely all the elements, and can use them in large quantities thanks to a large chakra. Yes, he could also bind me with the help of the earth technique. I'll have to merge with Samahata, otherwise I won't be able to fight him for a long time. You just need to wait for the moment, and apply Sueru Semiadori, but Jutsu, Kisame's thoughts, great, he used the water technique, I just need rain, Naruto's thoughts, Kato, Gukames Shitsu, Suetun, Goskokuzame Dam, I should have poured in more chakra, and used Guka Mekaku, anyway, it was enough for rain. Hey, shark. You can't avoid this technique, so I advise you to try to survive in order to amuse me a little more. Sueru Semiadori, but Naruto Jutsu, I'll help. Anton, Yasaka, but Magatama, great Itachi Aniki, the rest is up to me. Kirin, damn, it hurt Naruto-kun. But I have already merged with Samahata, get ready for a water battle, Itachi Aniki, back away, I'm not sure I can handle it the first time, so at a convenient moment, try to seal the pale-skinned with the help of Susanoo, Hashiman, Kamen. Come on, a little more, a couple more seconds. Here it is, Kemen, the seventh gate of the miracle, that's the power. I haven't seen such a taijutsu since Mato Dai, when he killed 3 of us. I hope I can survive this fight, Kisame's thoughts, hold on, blue-haired, I'm attacking. Asa Kujaku, Morning Peacock, what? Does he light a fire with the help of a huge friction speed? Monstrous taijutsu. In that case. Suetun, Daibakufu, but Jutsu, that's not all, Mist Swordsman. Hiradora. Terrible pain, and Teacher Guy easily opened 6 gates, and did not even feel pain, then how much will I have to get used to? Although rapid regeneration is a thought. Kurama, help me. Naruto's thoughts, taijutsu atmospheric pressure, incredible. I can't even move. If it wasn't for Samahata, I would have passed away long ago. Even water evaporates from such pressure, Kisame's thoughts, come on, sensei, Tatsuka's blade pierced the Shark Lord exactly on target and successfully sealed it, releasing the young blonde from the water, who could barely stand on his feet, and quickly regenerated the wounds received from sharp cuts of high water pressure in the 7 gates. And yet this guy is something. Conan, we have guests, come out and escort them as befits the honorable Doshi. Zetsu, tell Madara that everything is ready. All right, Pain. Welcome, Naruto Uzumaki, and Itachi Uchiha. According to the beauty of this tall blue-haired girl, it was possible to write whole books, and they would have been written if Jiraiya had seen his old students in adulthood. I suppose you want to talk to our leader. Come in. Itachi, kind lady, I ask you to stay here, I have a separate conversation with your leader. Naruto Uzumaki. How surprised I was when I found out that someone, too, from the Uzumaki clan, gathers the forces of tailed beasts on a par with me. We also have the same teacher. I guess you're here for the other 3 tailed ones. However, as you can see, I can't fight. But my bodies, which are controlled by the eyes of God, may be here this minute, so I do not advise you to start a fight here, as you did downstairs with my servant. Well, it was wild to watch your strength. But you can hardly beat me. What are you talking about? God's eyes? The same teacher? The Uzumaki clan, oh, how rude. Let me introduce myself. Uzumaki Nagato. The lord of the Akatsuki organization, the owner of the Eyes of the God, Rinnegan, as well as a former student of Jirai-sama. Naruto, do you feel it? Yes, Kurama. It is under Genjutsu. This is the same chakra that controlled me. Fake Madara. He also seems to be an Akatsuki. Okay, I'll take action. Since you've come this far, Naruto Uzumaki. Then I'll tell you why I need your precious tailed animals. War brings only suffering, without giving happiness to anyone in return, and the death of loved ones is the most terrible pain that can be endured. Without exception, death brings nothing but pain, contributing to the birth of hatred. The more senseless victims there are, the stronger the hatred and pain of heart wounds that will never heal. Love breeds suffering, suffering breeds hatred. And it gives us the opportunity to know pain. Even just by living, we hurt others in an attempt to avoid suffering ourselves. Our existence guarantees that hatred will never disappear. Peace and harmony do not exist in this cursed world. You collect tailed beasts, not suspecting what kind of power they contain, you just use their power as a weapon for battle. I, on the other hand, want to bring peace to this mortal planet, to find true peace through illusion and sleep, which is called eternal Tsukuyami. There will be no wars, no deaths, everyone will live in dreams, beautiful and wondrous dreams, not realizing and feeling the true pain. Our goals are very similar. We want to bring the peace that my father, our teacher, and his teacher dreamed of so much. We are no different from each other, because we act based only on a personal idea of justice. You and I are two kindred spirits who have known this pain. You for your justice, I for mine. We are just two ordinary people, pushed by a kind of revenge that is called justice. However, calling revenge justice, it will only bring even more revenge in return, thus creating a vicious circle of hatred. We live in the present, mourn the past and wonder about the future. This is the nature of history. It's time to realize that people by their nature are not able to come to a universal agreement. This world lives only by hatred. Maybe you're right, Nagato, but the love that lives in a person will never allow his heart to wallow in darkness. Love leads to sacrifice, which leads to hate. What kind of nonsense are you talking about? I hate people who lie to themselves. A long tongue indicates a weak brain of the owner, and you prove it perfectly. People in their lives are strongly connected with what they take to be the truth. That's how they define reality. But what does the truth mean? An indefinite concept. And this means that their reality, perhaps, is just a mirage, and no truth at all. What are you driving at, Naruto Uzumaki? Look around, you've been brainwashed by an ordinary idiot, a fake whose chakra strength can't even compete with yours, let alone the great Uchiha Madara. He lured you into his genjutsu, and uses you for his own purposes, and you, like a proud lion, follow his orders? Stop living this. It's time to live in the present, and achieve peace with more real methods. You're right, Nagato, our existence guarantees that hatred will never disappear. Peace and harmony do not exist in this cursed world. But if so, then I will dispel this curse. If there is a world in which there will be no hatred and harmony will reign, then I will find him, grab him and never let him go, just as I would not let every person dear to me out of my hands. I will never give up, because in the end, I will achieve such a difficult goal for humanity, and I will rid everyone of hatred, and I will start with you. Why do you think you can do it, Naruto? Because we have a common teacher, and a common belief in the worldview created by him. Pain, I understand, Uzumaki. Tell me, what do you want? I'm offering you a deal, Nagato. I'm all in attention. You let go of the remaining tailed animals, and I also take your eyes for myself. In return, I can heal your legs, and grant you ordinary eyes. No one knows who you really are, so you and Conan can easily settle in any village from the 5 great countries. And the man in the mask, I take on myself to. Do you think that after so many battles and wars, we can return to normal life? I'm sure of it. I can personally put in a good word for you in one of the villages. You will live peacefully, together with Conan, you will be happy, and you will have children. Smiles. What? No, no. Conan is my childhood friend, not my lover. Don't hide your feelings, Nagato. I can feel positive and negative thoughts, feelings. You love her, and she loves you too. I am sure you will be happy together. Isabu, Saiken, Chome. Kurama. And the rest are here. It's been so long since we've seen you. Yes, it's been a long time. This boy united us, and instilled faith in the fact that people can still be trusted. This is the blue-eyed blonde guy my father was talking about. do you have something to say, Naruto? I do not know what to say, friends. Thank you for supporting me, you can be free, Isabu, Saiken, Chome. But first I would ask you for some chakra. You don't want to sit in someone again, do you? Your truth, Naruto-kun. Grab a paw. The brilliant red-eyed teacher and the blue-haired beauty had to wait quite a long time. But in the end, both were surprised by the picture they saw. Naruto with Rinnegan and chakra is a couple of times larger than usual, and Nagato, with normal eyes, and working legs. Conan, we're leaving. But where to? Is our goal. Nagato interrupts, yes, but this guy, Naruto Uzumaki, opened my eyes. Now we are free, and we are not obliged to blindly follow the stupid ideals of fake people. Naruto, I trust you with everything I have created, including my eyes, use them wisely to achieve peace on this cursed planet. I promise, Nagato-sama. It's time for you. I will teleport you to the land of fire. Get to the leaf, and tell Hokage Dano that you are from me. Ask for shelter, he will certainly give it to you. Naruto, how did you manage to cure Nagato's eyes and legs? I don't know myself, teacher. I just took Nagato's yang chakra, and added Kurama's yin chakra, which has the ability to regenerate. It turned out somehow by itself, Naruto Uzumaki, A plant, Madara wants to see you, without outsiders. Itachi-senpai, I am grateful to you for all the help you have given me, but it's time for you to return to your destiny and do your destiny. I won't leave you, Otudo. Younger brother. No one has ever called me that before. Teleports Itachi to Konoha, so what's your name, you say? Call me Zetsu. Take me to your master. They walked for quite a long time. The blonde understood that a fight would not be avoided, and Zetsu led him away from the village so that no one would find them, and Naruto had no chance to retreat or help. At last they reached the northern desert of the Wind Country. The size of this desert was unimaginable, it was the perfect place for fights. Naruto took advantage of the moment, asked the tailed ones to accumulate chakra, he himself began to put the marks of the thunder god in different places, and to accumulate natural chakra. One question, Madara. Do you even understand why you were betrayed, Nagato and Conan? They are gone because you are darkness, a world without light, where flowers only wither and perish. Nagato and Conan did what they wanted to do. They were never your pawns. No matter what, they fought for their ideals. And that's why their will was inherited. I won't let you ruin it. Nagato is the embodiment of light. That is why everyone he has met carries a flower called hope. And I don't care if you are Madara or a stupid fake, these eyes, the eyes of God that I wear, they will rid this world of darkness like you. I will take revenge on you for all the atrocities, and for the death of my father too, even Fugaku Uchiha, who knew how to use Sharingan the best in Konohagakure, fell under my genjutsu, and killed your mother. Do you think you can change something? Even with Rinnegan, even with the chakra of all tailed animals. You are helpless, Naruto Uzumaki, just as Nagato was helpless. While you were following the tracks of the tailed beasts, I was always there, and I killed these worthless Jinchuriki with the chakra of the beast, which most did not even know how to control, and sealed them in myself. It's a pity that I didn't manage to get your mother's chakra, but very soon, White Zetsu will finish absorbing the nine-tailed chakra from one guy named Sora, and then I will become a new god, Jinchuriki ten-tailed, Sanin, but Rikudo, so what's your name? Identify yourself, why do you need this? I want the name of the villain who was killed by the great Uzumaki Naruto, the son of the fourth Hokage, and the great Kunoichi leaf, Kushina, to remain in the history of shinobi. How will mine also be preserved, a man who was able to make friends with tailed animals, learn their names, and give hope not only to them, but also to people in whose hearts the fire has long been extinguished, Obito Uchiha. Kakashi probably talked about me a lot, right? Your father was my teacher, and he deserved to die. He was not with his students in a difficult moment. Couldn't save me, couldn't save Rin. None of this would have happened if your father had been a little smarter. But he was just as stupid a shinobi as you. Naruto Uzumaki, attack, Obito, what, you won't even say a word? Well, hold on, death will be painful. Kato, Bakufu Ranbu, Kuchi-ese, Goja Reskuman. The Rashomon Gate successfully repelled the attack with Uchiha fire, and then evaporated. Not bad, but what do you oppose against the technique of summoning a demonic statue? Damn, what a huge machine. This, apparently, is the shell of the ten-tailed. So he's very strong. Although it is unclear how he can summon it without Rinnegan. In that case, I'll need a toad. Summoning technique, however, instead of the expected toad, 8 creatures are summoned, which also possess a Rinnegan. A bird, a bull, a Cerberus, a chameleon, a huge crab and a centipede, as well as a rhinoceros. Naruto was a little surprised by what was happening, but then he remembered what ways of Rinnegan Nagato had told him about. All of them begin to attack the demonic statue while the blonde absorbed a huge amount of natural and Biju chakra, hoping to destroy Obito with one jerk. He even opened the 5th gate. And so, Uzumaki's body overflows with a huge amount of chakra, so that Naruto himself could explode. He makes a dash, and at superluminal speed reaches Obito, hitting him in the stomach. Such a speed could not be seen by more than one Dojutsu, and in terms of speed it resembled an equally fast technique that was seen only once in performance, called that Senpu, Runtun Kuga. Obito's internal organs were torn apart, and he survived only thanks to the cells of the first Hokage. Obito poured the rest of his chakra into Gokakyu no Jutsu, into a large fireball that was even bigger than the tailed beast's bomb. Well, how do you like it? Let's see how you survive this. But unfortunately for the red-eyed one, the child from the prophecy did not even intend to evade. He simply absorbed the technique with the help of Gakudo, the way of Preta. Obito's chakra was already running out, and he did not risk spending Biju's chakra, because it would still be useful to him for transformation into Jinchuriki Jubi. Naruto uses the path of Deva, Tendu, and pulling Obito to himself by the force of attraction, is going to hit him. Fortunately, Tendu is rather slow, and the one-eyed fake manages to use Kamui. So that's what kind of ability you have in Sharingan, intangible. I wonder, how many minutes does this technique last for you? And although, why ask, I feel everything around me. Naruto Uzumaki, I underestimated you, but it's too late. Soon the whole world will plunge into the eternal Tsukuyomi. It remains only to get rid of you, which I will do when the white Zetsu brings me the 9-tailed chakra. I'll tell you a secret. At first we had a plan to revive Uchiha Madara, the one who found me under a rockfall, taught and trained me, and also strengthened my body with the help of Hashirama cells. But the deceased person must remain in the past, and the future will be mine. And by the way, Nagato did not awaken Rinnegan. These eyes belonged to Madara, who transplanted them to the boy before his death. White Zetsu brings an amber purification pot, where the chakra of Kinjin Kyodai and Sora was placed. A flash of light, and here it appears before the last hope of this mortal world. The one who swallowed the statue, Rikudu Jubi Kyuin. Gray skin tones, scales on the body, 10 protrusions and a Rinnegan symbol with 9 tomos on the back. And above the brushes of this beast, the Gedudums hovered. His Sharingan awakened in Rinnegan. The god's chakra reserves were still less than that of the young Uzumaki, who turned 22 in a few days. But the chakra was physically and spiritually stronger so much that one simple technique could cause significant damage to the blonde. No matter what form you take, I can defeat you in any form. So much, the blonde has never been wrong. The 7th gate, although it gave results, but greatly exhausted the blonde. Ninjutsu did not work at all, and senjutsu chakras were not enough to cope with such a strong opponent. For the first time in his long journey, the blue-eyed man was very shabby, and one could even say he was tired. Although he still had a lot of chakras, but he could no longer physically pour it into the channels of the chakra. What do you think, old man? Isn't it time to help the youngster? You're right as always, my dear Kurama. Who are you? It seemed to me that apart from me and the tailed ones, no one could penetrate my subconscious. What do you need? Kurama, do you know him? I am the one you call the shinobi god. The sage of the six paths. Obito has already violated all permissible boundaries, and he does not even suspect what awaits him. No matter, I can still defeat him. You don't have to be afraid of him, boy. What do you mean, old man? The black Zetsu smiles, and the white one has disappeared altogether. No, I didn't even pay attention. I was focused on the battle with Obito. Black Zetsu killed the white one, and plans to pierce Obito's heart, and by pouring his spiritual chakra into it, revive my mother, Kaguya otsusuki. What's wrong with that? She is your mother, and you are the creator of the shinobi world. It will be easier to show. Reach out your hand forward. The blonde saw everything, the whole story of Hagoromo and Hamura, Kaguya, Ashura and Indra, and he also saw Gamamara. Why did this thought settle in his head? I see. Old man, I need to stop him. It's getting late, Naruto. You are already exhausted, the forces of senjutsu and the 8 gates will not help you, and any long-range attack of ninjutsu can be easily absorbed. And what should I do? Rikudo Sennin, you already have a piece of my power, the chakra of all tailed animals, and Rinnegan. It can be said that you are the person who has come as close as possible to my strength. But my mother was stronger than me, and I was able to defeat her only with the help of my brother. But never mind, I will give you my chakra, thanks to which you will increase the chances against her. I call it the senjutsu mode of the sage of the 6 paths. Hold out your hand, Naruto Uzumaki. The fate of the tailed ones, and the whole world is now in your hands. Do not let us down. Sorry, Obito. But you were just a pawn in my great plan, just like I was in your smaller one. However, this plan is not destined to come true, because it was I who edited your holy block of uchi. You can be proud, because through your body the great goddess of all things, my mother, Kaguya Otsutsuki, will be reborn. Kaguya Otsutsuki. Coughs blood, Kakashi. Nagato. Naruto Uzumaki, so here you are, Naruto Uzumaki. You have the power of Hagoromo. First of all, I will take care of you, and then everything alive on this planet. Mom, be careful, this boy is very strong. Don't forget who he's dealing with, Dokuzetsu, give him the heat, so that's what you are, the ancestor of the chakra. I was told about you, just your wave of your hand is capable of destroying mountains. I'm even surprised. Naruto enters a new 6-way mode in an instant, fueling the senjutsu chakra with the power of tailed beasts, and begins to create a katana from Gudadam, which resembled the katana of Abusoba itself, as well as Naruto instantly opens the 7th gate without effort and pain, fueling this amazing kenjutsu with the healing and powerful chakra of Kurama. The battle has begun. Kaguya tried to avoid Naruto's direct blows in the fight, because even for her, the 8-gate technique was dangerous, and long-range attacks, like Tomogoroshi, but Haiketsu and Yasugami Kujeki did not cause Naruto any harm, because Shikaku-san protected him from the first, and he managed to dodge the others at great speeds with Kakuya chakra, or flying up with the help of the Chomei chakra. A couple of times he still hit Kaguya with his fists, fueled by the huge physically powerful chakra of Son Goku. Through Amatsu, Hirasaka Kaguya managed to apply Amanamanaka on the blonde twice, and transfer him to different dimensions. However, in all dimensions, he managed to come up with something, and with the help of different abilities of tailed beasts, as well as their huge number of chakras, to give a worthy rebuff to the matriarch of the divine clan. Amenominaka was quite expensive jutsu, and Kaguya had no choice but to release a huge amount of chakra, and turn into the true form of the rabbit goddess, in the form of a huge chimera consisting of parts of all tailed animals. And her body turned into a giant monster like a rabbit with a toothy mouth and a Rinne Sharingan on her forehead. Naruto was at a slight loss, but suddenly, hearing the support of the tailed beasts, as well as remembering the words of the sage, he accepts the responsibility that hangs on his shoulders, and begins to apply desperate measures. Namely, he dresses Kurama's avatar in a completed Susanoo, which could only be used by the owner of the eyes, Madara. Further, it feeds Susanoo with a colossal amount of tailed animals' chakra, as well as all the reserves of its natural chakra accumulated over the years. After that, he uses the wood dragon technique, which hangs on the shoulders of the avatar of Susanoo Kurama, holding on to his back. Later, the blonde creates a huge Gudadama sword, which Kaguya, surprised, called Nunaboko. The battle of two huge avatars began, and absolutely all living beings in the world felt this powerful aura and chakra colliding with each other. Mr. Hokage, I am overly grateful to you for recognizing us as the heroes of the leaf, and not the Nukanins who got rid of the Uchiha clan. Thank you. Don't worry about it, Itachi. I'm not as smart as my teacher, but I think it would be the right decision anyway. What's going on with Naruto, by the way, when he returns to the village? Thank the fifth Dano. I have no news when he will return to the village, but I am sure that he will be all right. I will explain the details to you later. And now, I want to introduce you to Konan and Nagato Uzumaki. They ruled Amagakure after the death of Hanzo Salamander, and Naruto said that they would be able to settle here and live in peace, far from constant wars. Suddenly the door opens, and a pale-skinned Uzumaki with red hair enters the office, and a girl of great beauty with a paper rose in her hair. Konan, Nagato? You're alive. How are you, Jiraiya-sensei? Long time no see. Hug Sannin. In a fit of anger, Kaguya even absorbed the essence of Zetsu in order to have a chakra, and somehow resist such a monster as Uzumaki. But it was all in vain. The forces were equal, if not even greater than the chakra of the goddess herself. Naruto, miss the game, we need to seal it. I would love to, but even Shikaku sealing techniques don't work on her, let alone Uzumaki techniques. And the size of Kaguya's avatar is too huge for me to seal her in Chibaku Tensei. Think of something, boy. You're dealing with the rabbit goddess herself, she can do anything, and I and the others are running out of chakra. You need to provoke her so that she removes the avatar and takes the form of a human. So I can also remove the avatar, and absorb the remaining chakra, which was fueled by Susanoo. Or you can remove Susanoo, but stay in the tailed beast mode. Brilliant, Kurama, do it, kid. And you, lazy, chakra, but Bakemono, start collecting the natural chakra, and mix it with your own. We need Bijidama shells. Naruto removes the avatar of Susanoo, and at the same second absorbs all the natural chakra, as well as the Biju chakra, which he poured into Susanoo. In the mode of the tailed beast, he begins to collect huge amounts of natural and animal chakra around the spheres of the Gudadama, creating Gudadama balls of the tailed beast, and launch them with bullets into the progenitor of the chakra. Her avatar begins to fall apart, and she, taking the form of a human, falls on the cold night sand of the vast desert of the Wind Country, which now and then only cooled the body of the almost dead goddess even more, 2 years after the main events of the plot. The strongest man in the world. Shinobi no Kami, Kono I no Kyusishu, Yajin no Ko, Kono yo no Kyusishu, Kaseki o Okosu Shunin, Futurime no Rikudu. I got a lot of nicknames after 3 to 4 years of these wanderings. I finally found my peace. For my parents, for my father and mother, I knew love, and understood the essence of all the power I possess. Villages began to live in peace, and 5 Kaguya even began to create a common alliance. The rest of the villages feared or respected them. There were no wars, fights, battles and unnecessary deaths. Shinobi began to perform the usual tasks, and the economies of the countries after a small collapse began to rise 3 times. There were no poor, hungry, weak people in the world. The tailed ones were free, and part of their power remained in me. There was nothing threatening the world that I couldn't handle. Nagato's dream has come true, and my revenge has finally brought me peace. Kurama is sleeping again. That lazy guy. Why am I thinking about this? Why? Maybe I finally understood the essence of what I was born for, and have been training since childhood? And now I'm just summarizing. I'm just like Grandpa 3, although I've never been as smart and wise as the people around me. Maybe that's why I did this stupid thing. But I don't regret it. It's time to go back to Konoha, visit everyone, and start living a normal life. The last time we were there was when Itachi became the 6th Hokage, after Jiraiya-sensei. The village has probably changed globally, under his wise rule. Kids Nagato and Konan must have grown up. They've probably already entered the Shinobi Academy. They will be strong shinobi, I'm sure. The older one, Kanna, is a beautiful and sweet girl, has huge reserves of chakra, and can control the elements of earth and water. A younger boy, Tenji, inherited his mother's hobby, origami and the element of wind. We have traveled all over the world, starting from the land of ice and the moon, ending with Hokuro, and the countries of snow and swamps. Yes, I think it's time to go back. She was very nice to people, helped them, and was happy when people from different countries smiled. It got to the point that she didn't even kill the bandits who attacked us along the way. What would old Hagoromo say if I had the chance to talk to him again? Did I make the right choice? I think he'd be mad at me. Damn, well, did I find the time to think about this while something so beautiful is happening around me? Naruto's thoughts. At the same time, she reached out and touched his shoulders. He interrupted her, bent down, and grabbed her by the waist. With shaking hands, sighing, he caressed the cloak that pleasantly irritated his fingers, gently stroked the divinely soft face. He plunged his face into her neck, filled with the luxurious aromas of the tea country. Now she was breathing fast and moaning a little, straining in his arms, digging her nails into the sleeves of his jacket, pressing her cheek to her chest through the t-shirt. Their faces were coming closer, still slowly, sensitively and tensely, their lips touched gently and gently, as if they were afraid to scare each other off. She threw back her head, shook her hair. Her skin was cold and strikingly smooth. And the hair is long and snow-white. The eyes he saw when she brought her face close to his were large and clear, her eyebrows were cropped short, and her lips were painted in dark red lipstick. In closer contact, the fragrance that so seduced the blue-eyed blonde was obviously noticeable. It was a camellia, an amazing flower. They have such a faint smell, but at the same time they can charm any caring person. And the tea they make is simply amazing. He touched his ear with impatient lips. The snow-white princess moaned, tensed, clung to his collar, clutching and caressing the slippery, hard clasp of his belt with a predatory hand. Hugging tightly, they did not separate their lips in a long and passionate kiss. Very long and very passionate. Seeing that time was running out, the princess greedily, but at the same time carefully and widely spread her legs, turning over a pile of scrolls stacked one on one, which Uzumaki studied before dawn. She blushed. He began to sway under the beautiful body of the princess, drowning in a sea of pleasure, and a beautiful fragrance, biting the lips of a gentle goddess. And she, holding her moans, and thrusting her tongue deeper into the blue-eyed man's mouth, began to take off a very open robe of black shades, with an open back, belly and shoulders. The garment had a long hem at the back, and there was a small zipper in the middle of the front. The blonde helped with his free hand to lower the zipper, and take off the dress, without taking his mouth from her luxurious lips, and his other hand from her waist. Her breasts were big, lush, warm, and as snow-white as the rest of her body. He began to breathe more unevenly, and she did not feel anything at all, except for continuous thrusts, bringing pleasure, which could not be exchanged for more than one other feeling in the world. Tomorrow we will be in Konoha. I hope Jiraiya-sensei is there. I want him to act as my father at our wedding. At least you covered yourself with a raincoat, you'll freeze. Come to me, it's warmer in my arms, Naruto, don't you regret that then, 2 years ago, you didn't seal me when I was lying near death? No, my love. And as you can see now, I was right to commit this act then. You have known the love that your sons and your beloved tried so desperately to give you. And you also soaked in sympathy for people whom you hated until the end of your days. Now, I will be the one who will give you all my love, not letting you get soaked in anger and hatred again. He kissed her on the lips, whispered slowly and softly, I will always be there, in your warm arms.